Chief Bitcoin in the house, baby. Okay, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to do a technical analysis of Bitcoin, and also we're going to look at SafeMoon, do a technical analysis of SafeMoon, and then we're going to look at infinite divs. Okay, this one here is the one, and it's like SafeMoon, but instead of a 10% tax, it's got a 15% tax. So don't buy into anything without talking to your financial advisor, okay? This is not financial advice. Okay, let's get started with Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin against the US dollar. Here's the day chart. Okay, so now last day I said that the lowest we're probably going to hit is 52,300. Okay, so that would be somewhere. Can you see that little cross there? Okay, so that would be around here. Actually, I'm going to be changing it to probably a little bit higher amount. So the lowest I think that we're going to go is probably 53,000. Okay, over the next few days. Okay, that's the lowest I think we're going to go, and that would be right about here. Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to possibly hit this line here, this trend line, come down and then up. That's what I'm thinking. Now, if we go below this trend line, if we go below it, then we can probably say that we're on a downtrend for a while. It could be a long while, okay? But I'm thinking that we are probably just going to hit this line and then up, okay? So that's what I'm thinking. And up to maybe 100,000. I mean, fund managers are saying we could go to like 300,000 or 400,000 this year. It's possible. Anything is possible. So we'll have to see. We'll just have to wait and see. So you can see we are crossed over down here, and it looks like it's opening up there. Okay, so we didn't get to the top of this trend line here last time, and that was because of some YouTubers who had been crying to everybody, sell, 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 this thing's going down. And hopefully they didn't crash this thing totally for the next year or two. Okay, because it takes a long time for this to come down because people don't realize it's coming down. It takes a long time. People are holding, and then finally they come to the realization they should sell. It takes a long time for it to do corrections. It goes up faster than it comes down, is what I'm saying. So they could have started this thing to go over, but I'm hoping that they didn't. Okay, so and how this happens is, if this here, this is the monthly, of course, you can see up here, but if this here starts to bend, then everybody's going to start selling immediately, and then this here is going to start becoming light green, okay, instead of green. But all these YouTubers have to do is bend that a bit, okay, even the slightest bit of a bend, and then we're going over. When I say we're going over, I mean price action's going over, and it's going to take a long time for it to come down. Okay, so did they kill the goose that's been laying the golden egg? Because how this thing goes up is sentiment. And YouTubers and people on the internet, and these guys aren't just YouTubers, they're all over they're everywhere. They're just everywhere on the internet. And they can change the sentiment because they're influencers, they're influencing people. That's what influencers do. Okay, so that's why I always say, I've been saying, if you're a fan of mine and you've been watching, these guys are just complete losers. Okay, these YouTubers who try to, that's all that they are, is losers. They don't understand this thing. You got to stay positive when you're talking about this thing, or else it's going to go over, especially YouTubers, because it's all about sentiment. Now, I don't think that we're done yet. I think we're going to bounce here, but there's always the possibility. I mean, there was the possibility that could have gone over there. It's a possibility this could go over here. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to bounce. Like I said, the lowest that I said last time was 52,300, and that's where we're going to bounce. You can see here this indicator is saying buy. Okay? And it said buy here. It said sell there, but now it says buy on that indicator. If price action goes below this indicator, okay, if it goes below there, if it goes below here, then the indicator is going to say sell, and rightly so, because if then, this line here, if it goes below that line, then yes, I would say sell too. I wouldn't just go by that indicator. There'd be the indicator, and there would be my indicator that if it goes below this trend line, if it goes below that, if it just barely dips below it, fine. But if it closes below it, if a candle closes below it, then there's a good chance that we're going over and we're going into a bear market, which is probably going to last a long time, but I don't think so. I think we're going to bounce here up that way. Okay, so, but this is not, you got to remember, this did not make it to the top here of that trend line, to the upper trend line there. So you got to keep that in mind. We're going to have to just wait and see. Okay, this is a wait and see thing. And, hopefully we get a bounce here at this trend line. Okay? So stay positive, say positive things about Bitcoin. Don't be calling down Bitcoin and saying bad things about Bitcoin, and it's all about sentiment. Okay? And so that's your Bitcoin technical analysis. Let's take a look at SafeMoon now. Okay, SafeMoon. That's what we got here on this chart. You can see SafeMoon, and we're at the 4-hour chart here, and it's looking pretty good there. We've got price action coming up here, up, and then up. Okay, so we've got a higher high here, a higher high here, and a higher high here. And it looks like we're not finished on the higher high, which is good. And hopefully this thing keeps racing up. I really like this one. The whole idea behind this thing is that whenever somebody sells, they have to pay a 10% tax. Okay, on, this is the 24-hour chart, by the way. They have to pay a 10% tax and on their sale. So let's say they bought in $100 worth, and then they want to sell, let's say it went 10x on them, and they want to sell $1,000 worth. Well, they have to give $100 worth up. Okay, there's $100 tax on that $1,000. It's a 10% tax. So that's really good. Okay, that's really good. So if you're a big fan of Feed Every Gorilla FEG, FEG had a 2% tax. Now that's good. Okay, this one's got a 10% tax. It's even, even better. And I'm not saying anything bad about FEG. FEG is a great token, and I made money off it, and I'm grateful. Anyways, this one, here we are going up on the 24-hour chart, which is really good. I'm gaining on the amount of billions of tokens I've gained. They're trading. Okay, so there's day traders trading this thing, and every time they trade, they gotta pay 10% tax, and that the 5% of that 10%. No, sorry, 50% of that 10%. So 5% goes towards the community. It gets spread around the community. The community meaning the community of people holding the token. So if the person was selling $1,000 worth and $100, $50 of that gets spread amongst the community. People like me who are, holding, and then the rest of them goes into liquidity, into the Binance smart chain, so people can trade. It's the liquidity pool for trading. Okay, so that's how it works. So it's a 10% tax, and that is an incentive for people to hold. They don't want to sell because they're going to lose 10%. They don't necessarily want to day trade it, even though people are day trading this thing. And it's just a really great incentive. So we've been going up for days here. You can see here, that's 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and we're on the 4th day of green here, which is fantastic. Hopefully we get very many more days before we get a correction. And so that's what's going on with SafeMoon. There's your SafeMoon technical analysis. Now let's take a look at this new one. Okay, so this new one is called Infinite Divs, and it's at infinitedivs.net. Okay, so that's where you can look it up if you want to buy it. And I would say just don't get involved in cryptocurrency. Okay, you might lose money at it. Always check with your financial advisor. This is not financial advice, so just refer to your financial advisor, and he'll tell you don't get into crypto. Okay, but this is for your entertainment here. Okay, Infinite Divs Next Level DeFi. So that DeFi stands for decentralized finance. What is ID Infinite Divs? ID is a deflationary and frictionless high-yield token with new and explosive RFI-based tokenomics exclusively on Binance Smart Chain. So you can only buy it on Binance Smart Chain. Specifically designed for the adrenaline junkies and thrill seekers among you. Okay, ID applies a 15% fee to each transaction, and the fees are instantly split and distributed as rewards - dividends among all token holders. 10% gets split between the holders and 5% burned, which means that the supply will be decreasing continuously. ID utilizes the latest protocol advancements on the bleeding edge of blockchain and smart contract tech, and is laser focused on efficient, fast, and frictionless yield generation for ID holders. Okay, so I was reading on Telegram that they've changed it so that this the 15% fee. They're not burning the 5%. I think that's how it works. You can check this on Telegram. And it, instead of a 15%, 10% being split amongst the holders, now it's 15%. And then they're not going to burn anymore. So I'm not too sure about that, but check it out. Okay, so it's up to you to check out on these things. So the money is just anytime somebody sells, I think they're not going to burn any, but they're just going to split 15%. That's supposed to be a 5 there. 15%, whatever the person, the 15% tax. So if somebody, wants to sell $1,000 worth, they're going to have to pay $150. Okay? And that's how it works. So it's a 15% tax, and then it gets split amongst everyone. Okay? I think that's how it works. So, but check it out. So I think they've amended it. Okay, tokenomics and roadmap. Just hold and earn. ID holders receive dividends with each transaction without any additional gas fees and directly to their wallets in real time. And the divs compound continuously. So divs means dividends, of course. Just hold and earn. ID holders receive dividends with each transaction without any additional gas fees and directly to their wallets in real time. And the divs compound continuously. Dividends compound. Okay, so you don't have to put it into a special staking area or anything. You just hold the token, and then whenever somebody sells, tokens go into your wallet automatically, okay, because it's a contract. This is a contract token. ID is 100% decentralized and secure on the Binance Smart Chain. The liquidity is locked on PancakeSwap and can't be removed. There is no website or interface required to claim rewards or to stake your tokens. Okay, so you don't have to stake them. You don't have to do anything. You don't just hold the tokens, and just automatically the contract, the smart contract, puts them into your wallet. It's great. There are no vaults that could be hacked or treasury funds that could be stolen or sold. Okay, so there's a 1 billion supply. So it's less than, SafeMoon, and there's only 1 billion. Okay, 1 billion tokens have been minted during contract creation, and the supply will perpetually decrease because of the burn function. Now, check into the thing to see if there's a burn or not on Telegram. Okay. 10% reward tax. A higher distribution fee has been applied to increase daily returns and to enable faster passive income. API for ID investors, 5% burn. Okay. Liquidity locked. The LP tokens will be burned once liquidity has been added to PancakeSwap. DEX. DEX means decentralized exchange. So it can't be removed anymore. So the liquidity can't be moved. So they're saying that they've made it so there can never be a rug pull. They can't just pull the liquidity out and then ruin it for everybody. No team funds. Only 1% of the total supply will be kept aside for marketing initiatives. 99% will be locked at launch together with BNB. New case uses. The ID ecosystem will be expanded with new use cases, innovative dApps soon. Okay. Tax-explained. You might ask yourself, what's the point of unusually high rewards fee? The central idea behind this project is to facilitate and accelerate APY by applying aggressive tokenomics. So this is more aggressive than Feed Every Gorilla, which is a 2% tax. It's more aggressive than SafeMoon, which is a 10% tax. We're talking about a 15% tax here. The ID distribution tax opens the floodgates for high yield generation and enables investors to maximize profits in no time. We don't want investors to get bored, as it's often the case with these low fee clones. ID optimizes and refines the blueprint RFI laid with its frictionless yield concept. The dynamic and accelerated tokenomics were thoughtfully crafted to incentivize trading volume and generate high returns.